This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening. I'm Sabrina Brown. Thank you for joining us. The Grand Bahama Power Company says consumers can look forward to improved services in the months ahead. With a new biofuel plant now in operation, renewable energy is viewed as a major long-term goal. But in the interim, consumers have been assured that they can expect a reduction in the cost of electricity as well. Joan Davis-Roll reports.
In an exclusive interview with ZNS News, CEO of Grand Bahama Power Company Sarah McDonald is commenting on the recent rate adjustment approved by the Grand Bahama Port Authority and what it means for this northern island.
It was a rate filing that actually resulted in an all-in decrease for all customers. So there was, some customer classes would have seen a slight increase in their base, but because of our efficiencies and the work that we're doing, particularly around renewable projects like this, it means we can bring the fuel charge down. So customers this month will see lower bills across the board. So I think it ties in perfectly. And we've always said we had a 3-point plan, which was we were going to make the system reliable, which we've done. We were going to bring down the cost, which we've done. And then when we were starting to look for ways to eliminate the foreign fossil fuels, which we're starting to do.
McDonald notes that while the cost of electricity is not the lowest in the region, she contends that it is not the highest either.
We do regular benchmarking against all Caribbean utilities, and we're in the bottom third. So we consider that good performance. We'd like to get maybe even lower, and we know that over time with the new rate filing that we actually do come down. And so it's still going to be more expensive than Florida because that's a large interconnected grid. But our information would demonstrate that in fact we have some of the lowest prices in the region.
Turning to the issue of power outages, McDonald says the company has witnessed some significant improvements as GBPC continues to keep interruptions in services at a minimum.
Our reliability over the last 3 years has improved by over 55% because our plant is more reliable. Most of our outages were being caused by the failures on our generating plant. So the new plant is much more efficient. It obviously runs smoother, and it gives us a chance to maintain our other units better. And there will still be outages because of the kind of weather we have. We're still going to have lightning. We're still going to have storms. We're still going to have people hit our poles, but we can certainly get the lights on much quicker.
Joan Davis-Roll, ZNS Network News.
The rate adjustment was the subject of great controversy late last year, but power officials were adamant that the adjustment would result in a decrease in the cost of electricity for the majority of consumers. The change was expected to take effect in February bills. Tonight, we ask consumers if they are witnessing a decline in their power bills. Since the Grand Bahama Power Company's rate adjustment application was approved by the Grand Bahama Port Authority at the end of January, consumers have been eagerly anticipating a reduction in the cost of electricity on the island. While many admit that they have seen a decrease in their power bills, others are singing a different tune.
I've noticed a slight reduction, yes. And it's refreshing. So I hope it continues.
I'll have to weigh it out really and see what happens, but as far as I'm concerned, it looks like a little reduction. Every little helps.
I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm waiting for the reduction.
Corporate Communications Officer Cleopatra Russell is advising consumers to take a closer look at their monthly statements, as she says all customers should be experiencing a decrease, although some may be more significant than others.
We're extremely excited and pleased that our customers are seeing a substantial savings for their power bill since the approval of our rate application. We've even more excited for the fact that our fuel charge has decreased some 26% between January and now, from 12.46 cents to 9.5 cents. We expect that we will be able to maintain this no matter what happens with the price of oil because of our hedging program that we put in place in 2014.
She says GB Power will continue to help its customers to bring down their electricity bills.
We're also going to launch next month an aggressive energy efficiency program where we're encouraging customers to control their power costs through the tips that we'll be giving out. We firmly believe that the cheapest power is the watt that you just don't use.
Some residents say they are already taking steps to lower their power bills.
I've put in some LED lights. I've shortened my work hours. I'm making sure my staff are more sensitive to turning lights off. So I'm trying to do everything in my power to keep costs down.
I make sure all the lights are off, the heater, everything that needs to cut off, I turn them off.
A verdict handed down a short time ago in the Basil Black murder trial. Italia Hall has the latest.
Shortly before 5 p.m., the jury completed their deliberation. The family of the accused and the deceased then entered the courtroom, followed by Judge Estelle Gray Evans. Court resumed at 5:12 p.m. when the jury entered the room, who found Basil Black guilty of the murder of Alexis Smith. The judge then asked Black if he has any objections. Black responded no and asked the judge if he could be sentenced now. The family then exited the courtroom and went on the outside dressed in shirts in tribute to the deceased, shouting, screaming with tears of joy. The aunt of Alexis Smith spoke on behalf of the family and says she is happy that justice has been served.
I would like to thank the court. I would like to extend our gratitude because the court did not fail us. All praises goes to the Almighty. Mr. Black, like David in Psalms 51, if you confess your sins, God is faithful and just and he will forgive you. And we have forgiven you. And not only that, even though you're behind bars, remember there's a God who's watching over you. And as you surrender to God, his purpose will prevail in your life. Thank God for the justice for Alexis. And we just look at it as a situation that has occurred that will bring us closer together as a family.
Smith added that crime must stop in the country.
I would like to see incidents like this come to a stop because we need to just love one another and be each other brother keepers. And in the midst of whatever your situation may be, you can turn to God. And as you turn to God, he'll show you how to resolve issues that the violence will cease in our nation.
Basil Black will be sentenced on Thursday, March 10th at 9:30 a.m. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Italia Hall.
Four females and two males arrested on drug-related charges. Officers from Operation Turf Sweep executed a search warrant at a home on Winchester Circle where a quantity of suspected marijuana and cash were discovered. Investigations are continuing. Also from the police, officers of the Lucaya Division searched a home on Amberjack Street where an assortment of alcoholic beverages, soft drinks, and snacks were found. Further investigation revealed that the occupant did not possess a business license. A male was arrested and taken into custody, and all of the items were seized. Stay with us. There's more news after this.